My name's Robin, and this is Tabby we also have as well. We're your two teachers today, and we're going to talk to you about UKISET. So, can anyone put up their hand? Do you know what UKISET is?
No.
No? Okay. UKISET is a test for going to UK schools. And it has 3 parts. It has reasoning, which is shape and number and word questions. There's reading and listening, and these are questions as well. And then writing a short essay. And I'm going to show you the shape, number, and word questions. So, first of all is shape. There are 4 different types. There's finding a shape that's the same. There's finding the shape that comes next. There's folding paper and making holes in it. And there's finding the shape that's hiding. And we're going to look at finding the shape that's the same. So here's an easier one to start. There are 3 shapes here, and we have to say which shape is the same. So have a little think, and then can anyone put up a hand and say the right answer?
C.
Okay, did someone have a hand up? Guys, please could you turn your videos on as well? If you have a video, if you can turn it on, that's great. Thanks, Antonio. And then I can see if your hand's up. Thanks, Ethan. Does anyone know the answer here who can put their hand up? Thanks, Shadow. Okay, I heard someone say C. Who said C? Shadow, was that you?
Yes.
Okay, you're right. Why is it C?
Because it is the same and the size and also the color.
Great. Does anyone agree with Shadow? I agree with you, Shadow. That is good. These are all the same shape. They're all an arrow. They're all the same color. They're all white. And they're all the same size. So C is the correct answer. Well done, Shadow. Let's see the other ones. A is the wrong color. It's black. B is the wrong color. It's got lines. D is the wrong color. It's gray. And E, it's the wrong size. It's too thin. So here's a harder one. I'll give you 1 minute to think, and then we'll see if anyone has an answer. So you've got 1 minute to think. Oh. Okay, does anyone have an answer? If you think you know, just put up your hand. And I can ask. I'll give you a clue. We can talk about this shape is a hexagon with 6 sides, and this shape is a triangle. And I'll give you one more clue. Can you see anything the same with these 3 shapes? Can anyone say something the same? Yes, Antonio.
The triangle is in the hexagon.
Okay. Wow, that's a very clever idea. So, Antonio, do you think you know the answer?
It might be A.
You think it might be A? Okay. So, let's say what's the same here. They all have one hexagon. They all have one triangle. They all have one circle shape. And my next clue is thinking about inside and outside. Antonio said they all have a triangle inside the hexagon. If you think Antonio's right, can you do a thumbs up? If you think there is a triangle inside the hexagon, can you do thumbs up like this? Let's see who else thinks so. That's a thumbs up from Shadow. Anyone else? Okay, I can tell you, Shadow, that, and Antonio, that you're right. There is a triangle inside the hexagon for all of these. And that means that A is the correct answer. Well done, Antonio. Very good. Let's see the other answers, why they're wrong. B, can anyone say why is B wrong? Does anyone know why B is wrong? Yes, Tina.
It is because the triangle is not in the hexagon.
Exactly. Good. The triangle is outside the hexagon. Thank you, Tina. Can anyone say why C is incorrect? Ethan, can you see why is C incorrect? Or Kevin, do you know why C is wrong?
Yes, because all the shapes are supposed to, at least one is supposed to go into a shape, and these are all spitted out.
Right. And the really important one, the triangle inside the hexagon. Here, the triangle is outside the hexagon. Thank you, Kevin. How about D? Can anyone say why D is wrong? Antonio, I might come back to you. Aries, do you know? Why is D wrong? Or Ivy, do you know why is D wrong? Wow, Ethan, your backgrounds are crazy. Okay, Antonio, why is D wrong?
Because there are two triangles.
Correct. That's right, and there should only be one. And why is E wrong? Can anyone say why E is wrong? Yes, Kevin?
Because there's no triangle inside the hexagon.
There's 0 triangles, that's right. So that is a shape puzzle. Next, we'll look at some number puzzles. And there are 2 types. There is find the number that comes next and find the number that follows a rule. We're going to find the number that comes next. So here's an easy one to start. Have a think. Which number comes next? And if you know, put up your hand. I think there's a hand from Ethan. Ethan, what do you think?
I think it's 25.
25. And why, Ethan?
Because it's a sequence of -3.
Okay. Does anyone agree with Ethan? If you think Ethan's right, please give thumbs up. That's Shadow, Kevin, Tina, Antonio. Okay, wow, yeah, looks like people agree. Let's see if you're right. Yes, -3, take away 3, 25 is the correct answer. Well done, Ethan, thank you. So here's another, a little bit harder. 5, 12, 6, 14, 7. What comes next? You have 1 minute to think, okay? Go. Okay. Does anyone have an answer? If you do, just put up your hand. Ethan, what do you think?
I think it's 16.
Okay, and why 16?
Because for this first one, there's a +7, and then there's a -6. And for the third one is +8. And for the next one is -7. So for the answer, it might be +9.
Okay, very clever. Does anyone else think the same or have a different idea? Okay, I'm going to show you something. Here's a big clue, ready? If you have an idea, you can put up your hand. Antonio.
So basically there are actually two patterns in this like one sequence of numbers. So in the first, third, and fifth numbers, it starts from 5 and they keep on adding by 1.
Right.
And in the second, fourth and sixth number, they add by 2, so it would be 16.
Okay, thank you, Antonio. And Kevin, I saw your hand go up. Were you going to say the same or anything else?
Yes, I think it's the same.
You think the same?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if you're right. Tina, what do you think? Does it look like there's 2 patterns?
Yes.
You think 2 patterns as well? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's check it. +1, +1, +2, +2. And 14 plus 2 is 16. Yes, very good. So Ethan, well done. You had the right idea and you found another way which was very good. And Antonio and Kevin, well done. You saw there were 2 patterns. Sometimes there are 2 patterns and we have to think and look for this. Okay, great work, guys. The last type is word questions. And there are 2 types of word questions. There are words that follow a rule, and there are words that are like the others. So red, blue, orange, we need a color, we need green. So this one is nice. This one we'll look at together now. So here's a practice. Big to small, high to what? Does anyone have an idea?
Low.
Ah, so someone said low. Kevin, I saw your hand up. What do you think?
Low. I said
No?
low.
Tina, what do you think?
I also think it is D, low.
Okay. Anyone else think low? You can put your hands up or give a thumbs up even. Thumbs up if you think low. Low, thumb, 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 thumb. Wow, that's it. Definitely agreeing. So why is it low? Can anyone say why it's low?
Because it is the antonym of high.
Ah, so the opposite, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have a look. These are our words, and we can see, yes, these are opposites, like fast and slow, hot and cold, opposites. So we need the opposite of high, and that is low. Great, well done, guys. Let's try a little bit harder one. We have spectator, participant, affluent, and then fluency, poor, freeze, wealthy, and game. So I'll give you 1 minute to think, and then we'll talk together. Okay. Does anyone know what is spectator?
Audience.
Ah, and if you know, please can you put your hand up and I will ask. Anyone think they know spectator? Okay, and does anyone know participant? Okay, these are harder words, so let me help you. I'll move this. So spectator and participant. Can anyone say what a spectator is?
An audience.
Ah, yes. Who said audience?
Shadow.
Shadow? That's right, Shadow. Thank you. And can anyone say what participant is? Antonio?
The person who is for example, like the spectator will be watching participants do stuff. Like perform.
Right, they're doing it and the people are watching. If people think that's correct, can you put thumbs up for Antonio? The participant is the person doing. Ah, great, I can see some thumbs there. So let's have a look at a picture. Here we have some people ice skating. The spectators are these people watching, like Shadow said, the audience. And the participants, like Antonio said, are the people doing. So these are opposites again, aren't they? And we need to find the opposite of affluent. Can someone say what is affluent?
Well,
Kevin?
wealthy.
Wealthy. Does anyone agree with this? Affluent means wealthy. If you think that's correct, can you give thumbs up? Shadow says yes. Tina says yes. Okay. Kevin, you're right. Thank you. Affluent means wealthy. And this means we have a lot of money, right? Lots of money. Ooh, lucky. So what is the opposite of affluent and wealthy? Does anyone know the opposite? Tina,
Poor.
thank you. What do you think?
Poor.
Poor. Okay, does anyone agree with Tina? Thumbs up if you agree with Tina. Kevin says she's right. Antonio says yes. Ethan, what do you think? Yeah, Ari's good. Okay, let's see if you're right. It is poor. Well done. Very good. Yes, that's right. And we also had fluency means, oh, I can speak with fluency. It's very nice. If I go, that's not fluency. Very nice. Freeze. Can anyone show me freeze? Is it hot or cold? Cold. So like, ooh, yeah. This is freeze. Wealthy, we said lots of money. Very nice. And can anyone say what game is? Do we eat a game or play a game?
Play.
Play, right? Yeah, great. Okay, guys, very well done. Thank you. I'm going to pass you over to Tabby, and she's going to show you all about reading and listening questions. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Thank you, Robin. Hopefully now it's switched screens so you can see the next part, and I'm going to talk through with you the listening, the reading and the writing part of the UKISET test. And we're going to look at each of the different areas quickly and do a few example questions. So the first one we're going to look at is the listening part, and all of your questions in the listening part will give you a multiple choice answer. So you'll have the question and then you will have something to listen to and then some answers, and you have to pick the one that best matches what you have listened to in that passage and that answers the question. So the first one we're going to look at is a question that says, what will the weather be like for your group tour tomorrow? So it's given you 3 different pictures, and after listening to the speech, you have to pick which answer best represents what they've asked. So before we even listen, something you would need to get into the habit of practicing would be to think of what vocabulary you're looking for before you even hear anything. So can anyone tell me, thinking about the weather, what can you see in this first picture here? Can you put your hand up?
Sunny.
Thank you, Aretha. Sunny, that's brilliant. And anyone else can say anything else, maybe about the colours you can see? Everyone put their hand up and say?
Right.
Right, bright, thank you, Shadow. You can see bright skies. And in English, we would often say as well, you can see blue skies. So you'd be listening out for words such as sunny and blue skies, but Shadow, bright is also one you might want to look out for. And how about this middle picture? What do you seeing the weather in this middle picture?
Foggy.
Foggy, lovely, Aris, thank you. Anybody else, can they say something as well? So foggy is one.
Cloudy.
Brilliant, Shadow, thank you. Anyone else about the colours you can see? Antonio,
Grey.
what do you, oh, who just said, thank you, Shadow, I think that was you. Grey, you can see grey sky as well. So that's words you'd listen out for that represent this picture here. And how about our final picture? How would you describe the weather in this picture?
Rainy.
Yep, Aris, we've got grey as well. Anyone else? What can you describe the weather in this? Antonio?
It's more of a black sky.
Lovely. So black sky. We might also say dark sky. So black or dark. And what else is kind of going across the screen, going across in front of the tree?
The rain.
Rain. Lovely, Antonio. So we'd be looking out for these kind of words. So I'm going to play for you now the speech and listen carefully to see if you can answer the question, what will the weather be like on the tour tomorrow?
Do you know what the weather's going to be like tomorrow? My group want to go on the boat trip to the island, but they won't enjoy it if it's raining.
I think you'll be okay. They say it'll be cloudy but dry tomorrow.
Oh, great. Too much sun isn't a good thing either.
Okay, so can you put your hand up if you think you heard the answer to the question, what will the weather be like the tour group tomorrow? Kevin.
So it will be sunny.
Oh, they did say something about there being sunny. Does anyone else agree with Kevin that the weather on the tour tomorrow would be sunny? You put a thumbs up if you agree with Kevin. Antonio, you agree. Does anybody else? And Ivy, you agree? Okay, so you've got two people agreeing with you there, Kevin. Does anyone disagree? Does anyone think that they said that it was going to be different tomorrow?
I think it would be cloudy.
Okay, Shadow, can you explain why you think they said it would be cloudy?
Because in the listening they said that it would be it would be good that if there's too much sunlight.
You're right. They did mention that it would be sunny at the end. They said it would be it would be bad if there was too much sunlight. So they did mention these words, but they said that it would not be good if it was too sunny. And they did, you're right, Shadow, well done, say that it would be cloudy tomorrow. We're going to listen one more time just so you can hear it again and just check that you understand that they did say that other types of weather as well, but they said that tomorrow it would be cloudy.
Do you know what the weather's going to be like tomorrow? My group want to go on the boat trip to the island, but they won't enjoy it if it's raining.
I think you'll be okay. They say it'll be cloudy but dry tomorrow.
Oh, great. Too much sun isn't a good thing either.
Okay, so if that time you might have heard, they said too much sun isn't a good thing. And they said, I think you'll be okay tomorrow because it will be dry but cloudy, which is this picture here. So you would tick this one when you're taking it. Okay, another listening kind of question where you'll have a conversation to listen to. And again, 3 answers to pick from and pick the best one. Now this question is all about at the airport. So it says, why can't a man use a self-service machine to check in? And before we listen, you need to check that you understand all of the vocabulary in the answers so that you know what you're listening out for when you're listening to the conversation. So our answer 1 is his customer booking reference is wrong. The booking reference is this down here, if you're not sure what it is. And it's saying that he's got the booking reference wrong. The second option would be his flight isn't open for check-in yet. Third option would be his reservation is part of a group booking. So when we listen to the next one, you need to listen out for those words and see if you can figure out what's happening to him.
Can I help you, sir?
I'm trying to use this self-service machine to check in, but it won't let me.
Could I see your booking reference?
Yes, here it is. But I'm sure I entered the correct number.
Ah, I see you're booked on a group flight. You'll need to check in at a desk. I'll find you one that's open so you don't have to queue. Please follow me.
Okay, so can you put your hand up if you think you know which answer it could be? Tina.
His reservation is part of a group booking.
Brilliant. So it would be our bottom one here. His reservation is part of a group booking. How do you know that that is the answer? What did you hear, Tina?
When he found that the machine is not working, he asked for help, and they told him that it was a group booking and is not allowed to use the self-service machine.
Brilliant, well done. So he needed to go somewhere else because it was a group booking. Good girl. Does anyone hear the words booking reference being used in the speech? You can put your hand up if you heard it, and you can say how it was used in the speech. No, so let me play it one more time for you and see if you can hear where booking reference is used.
Can I help you, sir?
I'm trying to use this self-service machine to check in, but it won't let me.
Could I see your booking reference?
Yes, here it is. But I'm sure I entered the correct number.
Ah, I see you're booked on a group flight. You'll need to check in at a desk. I'll find you one that's open so you don't have to queue. Please follow me.
Okay, so did anyone that time hear where they talked about booking reference? You put your hand up, Kevin. Kevin, what did they say?
He said, let me check your booking reference. I mean, like, something like that.
Yeah, did he think he had put it in right or wrong?
I think wrong, because I mean his reference is supposed to be a group booking, but then they said booking reference is wrong.
Oh, they didn't say that it was wrong. He actually said, I think I've put it in right. So you're talking about the right part of the conversation, and he thought he put it in right. And then it was the person helping him that realized it's actually that it's the group booking. It was the group booking, and that's why it wasn't working. Well done if you got that one. Okay. The next one we're going to look at then is a reading question example. So this is in the next part of the test, and it will be the reading part, and you'll have a mixture of different questions. There will be some where you have to fill in a missing word, some where it gives you the options, some where you have to type your own words, and there'll be some multiple choice questions, so where you get some options and you have to pick the right answer. So the first one we're going to look at is where there's a missing word in a sentence, and we need to fill in this space here with one of the words that it gives you. Okay, so the sentence is, you something to check the tires before you start on a long journey. Now, does anyone think they know out of these four words which one should go in this gap? You put your hand up if you think you know. Tina, what do you think?
I think is ought.
Brilliant, it is ought. And that one goes in there for many reasons, which I'm just going to explain now, because some of you might be wondering why these two, should and ought, both have the same translation, but it is ought rather than should. Okay, so ought is actually something that we call a verb phrase. Okay, it's a type of verb that you cannot say just by itself. It has to be said with something else after it, otherwise it would not make sense. So for example, we couldn't put should into this gap because should to is not a verb phrase. It doesn't make sense and they don't fit together in that way. Whereas ought to is a verb phrase and it fits in much better because the to is already there for us to use. And that's the key clue in this question, that it says to after the blank. So other examples of verb phrases are she is writing a new book. So you can't say she writing a new book, and you also can't say she is a new book. They are a verb phrase, so they have to be said together. Okay? And again, I must make dinner. You can't just say I must a dinner or I make a dinner. Okay, you can say I must make a dinner. They go together in a pair. Okay. The other thing that could have helped us with this answer is something called modal verbs. Does anyone know what a modal verb is? You put your hand up if you know what a modal verb is. Or if you can think of an example of a different one. I tell you that ought to or ought is a modal verb. Does anyone else know a different one? So these are other versions or other examples of modal verbs. So might, can, and could. And they give you a sense of possibility or a sense of choice with a word, rather than saying that you must do something or it's instruction that you have to do something. So modal verbs can be used to give a sense of possibility. So the answer for this one, well done Tina, would have been ought. Another reading example is this one here, and there's an advert, and the question would be, what is the advert telling you? So what is the advert telling you? And on this advert, it says the Orient Restaurant. So it's an advert for a restaurant. It says the lunch menu will change from next Monday, and there will be a new dinner menu from March the 8th. So without even looking at the answers, can someone tell me some key information that this advert is telling you? Can you put your hand up to tell me what information the advert is telling you? Shadow, can you tell us, what is the advert telling you? Or Antonio, do you think you can tell me what key information is the advert telling you?
So the lunch menu would change in next Monday, and then the dinner menu would change in March the 8th.
Lovely. So the answers that it gives you three possible answers. It says the food in the Orient restaurant is going to be different. The two menus in the Orient restaurant will change at the same time, or the Orient restaurant will open for dinner for the first time in March. Have a little think. I'll give you some time to think. Which of these answers best tells you what the advert is telling you? You put your hand up when you think you might know. Antonio, just wait 1 second. Hold the idea in your head to see if anyone else can come up with an answer.
The first answer.
Ah, well done, Shadow. So you think it's the first answer. So the food in the Orient restaurant is going to be different. Can you give me a thumbs up if you agree? If you think it's the same, can you give a thumbs up? Kevin agrees. Tina agrees. Lovely. Antonio agrees. And Ethan, lovely. So everyone's agreeing And you are right, it is this top one. Can you explain why? Does anyone think they can explain why it's not going to be one of the other two? So how do we know it's not going to be the second option and it's not going to be the third option?
Because the third option is not mentioned and the second is wrong.
Okay, so you say the second one is wrong, Shadow, and you're right. Why is it wrong though? Are there some key words that can help you say that it's wrong?
Because it's not changed in the same time.
It's not changing at the same time. Good, so it's this bit here that says the same time, because from this, it says that the lunch menu will change from next Monday and the dinner menu will change from the 8th of March. So we know it can't be the second one because they're not changing at the same time. And how do we know it's not the third one? So the Orient restaurant will open for dinner for the first time in March. How do we know it's not that one?
It is because the restaurant, it will only change the menu, but not changing the whole restaurant.
Brilliant, it's just changing. So it's this word here that says change. Well done for picking that out, Tina. It's not a new restaurant. It's not opening for the first time. It's just changing. Brilliant. So we'll quickly have a look at one more style of question that you could get in your reading part. And this is one where you'll fill in the missing words and they'll expect you to type it. So you wouldn't get an option for words to choose. You just have to know them in your vocabulary to know what would go in each of the spaces. Okay? So this is an example of an email all about a swimming competition. So it says who it's to, who it's from. It says, hi Silvio, there's blank to be an extra swimming competition next week and not blank people in the team blank free to do it. So we need to think of what words could fit into this. We'll just look at the first part. So there's blank to be an extra swimming competition. Does anyone know what could go in this box here? Kevin, is that a hand up?
No, it's just scratching my.
No, do you think you might know, Kevin?
I'm not sure about this.
Not too sure. Does anyone think they could have a guess at what word could go in there?
Going.
Good girl, thank you, Shadow. It would be going. There is going to be an extra swimming competition next week. So in this gap here, we could write going, and you'd have to type it in as part of the test to make the sentence make sense. So there is going to be an extra swimming competition next week and not something people in the team. What could go in this gap here? Not something people in the team. Put your hand up if you think you know what could go in that gap. Antonio?
Not many.
Brilliant, it'll be not many people in the team. Okay, so there'll be not many people in the team blank free to do it. What could go in that gap there? So there's going to be an extra swimming competition next week and not many people in the team blank free to do it. Put your hand up if you think you know what goes in that space. Ethan, oh, what was that, Shadow?
Yes.
Did you say that again?
Quiz.
Oh, not that word. No, there are not many people in the team.
I said are free to do it.
Brilliant, thank you, Ethan. They are free to do it. Are free to do it. Okay. There are 2 more to fill out then. So it says, Jane blank you to swim in 6 races. What could go in this box here? Anyone think you know? Reese, do you think you know what could go in this one? So if I move this has got some examples that could help you. You have a look at these words here. Can any of these fit into the blank space? Kevin?
Once.
Brilliant, it would be once. Jane wants you to swim in 6 races. And then the last one would be, is that something much swimming for you? Kevin, your hand straight up. What's the
2.
score? 2. Lovely. So these ones can be quite tricky because you need to have a wide vocabulary to know what words are going to fit into the spaces. Okay, so the last part of the UKISET test would be where you have to write a short essay. So you have a question that you need to answer, and you've got to demonstrate your expressive language skills. So show how good your English language is through writing a response to an answer. And a question that you could get would be something similar to, around the world, people are living and staying healthy for longer and longer. What changes does this bring to today's society? Are the changes good or bad? And you would then get something that you have to include in your answer. So it says you need to write about caring for the elderly, different jobs, and also your own ideas. Okay, so it tells you what they want to see in your answer, and you will only have about 150 to 190 words to write your answer. So it's not very many words. You need to think carefully how to structure it and what you want to include in your answer. Okay, and that will bring us to the end of your test. I hope that it was useful. I'm sure if you've got any more questions about what would be involved in the UKISET test, or if you have anything else you need to find out, then hopefully either us or Daddy would be able to answer those questions for you. And I'll hand you back over to Betty.
唔該晒，Mr. Robin 同 Miss Tabby。各位同學，我諗你哋頭先都已經見過晒，其實 UKISET 會考啲乜嘢，內容會係點樣，大概嘅題目會係點嘅樣。嗱，因為 UKISET 係一個申請英國嘅寄宿學校嘅一個共同用嘅考試模式嚟嘅，咁你哋嘅成績就會 send 去5間唔同嘅學校，咁你都其實睇到有啲題目係比較淺，有啲題目係比較深嘅。咁當然啦，咁如果你越答得啱多嘅，咁你嘅成績就係越高。咁如果你譬如好似有啲題目你係比較冇做得咁多，冇做得咁好嘅時候，當然就係有分別啦。所以係一個考試，但係題目裡面同一個考試裏邊就有深有淺嘅。咁主要就係分開3個部分啦。第一個部分就係 Mr. Robin 同你哋講嘅，會有 verbal reasoning 啊、non-verbal reasoning 啊，有少少數學題啊，考下你嘅邏輯思考嘅。跟住就會分開英文嘅部分，就會分開2個部分，一個基本上係選擇題 fill in the blank， 將啲唔見咗嘅字放翻落去啊，各樣嘢。跟住最後一個咧就係會寫一個 short essay 嘅，分開咁嘅3個部分。嗱，今日我哋嘅示範堂咧就馬上要完結㗎啦。咁如果你哋係有咩問題嘅咧，可以隨時聯絡 Dadi 佢哋會幫到你㗎。咁呢個考試咁就要充分嘅準備，其實係可以準備嘅。咁如果你哋有啲咩問題嘅，隨時就聯絡 Dadi 啦。咁at呢個 moment， 你哋有冇咩問題啊？有冇咩問題想問我哋？如果冇問題嘅話咧，就 thank you very much for attending our sample lesson operated by Academic Tutor online together with Dadi. And so have a lovely weekend, and then we're going to see you soon for more lessons. Thank you.
And Tabby, I think let's give them a clap as well. Really good work.
Very
guys.
good work. Thank you.
Very nice to meet you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Have a nice day. Have a nice evening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.